Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the Movie Night Show where you want to hear my unfiltered and uncensored thoughts and opinions about the world of entertainment news. Without further ado, let's get started, shall we? First and foremost, I am not an avid gamer by any stretch of the imagination. However, series that I've always played growing up, and anyone who my age really played growing up, was the Halo franchise, and well, the people have been wanting a movie to come out for a long time, and then a few years ago we found out that it was going to become a TV show for Showtime. They even started shooting the series when COVID-19 happened, and they put a delay on it, and now the series is up shooting again, except it won't be going on Showtime. It will be going directly to Paramount Plus. This is one of the many announcements that Paramount Plus made. You can kind of go on their Twitter and just see all the stuff they announced. They are coming out swinging in the streaming wars, and on their side of the war they got the Spartans, the Covenant, and the Flood, so I think it's a really good sign for them. Personally, I think it's a great idea. I think there's a lot of ripe storytelling for that franchise to be translated onto the screen, the small screen in this case, but I think it has a lot of potential. I think hopefully it will be great, and you could get a lot of seasons out of it. There's tons of games and lore to go off of, plus whatever original stories they want to bring to that franchise. Hopefully we just get some Master Chief kicking ass, and I personally am very excited about it. For our next story, we're going to go over to an exclusive from The Wrap. This involves Shazam 2, or its official title, Shazam! Fury of the Gods, and according to The Wrap, Rachel Zegler is going to appear in the film, and the only problem is they haven't released any details about the character she's playing, so she might be playing the main antagonist, or just a role that is, has deep lore within the DC world. They're keeping the role under wraps. And while I'm personally not familiar with her work, considering that she's landing a role in the big movie, and I'm excited. Any news that comes out about Shazam! Fury of the Gods, I'm going to be excited about. The more updates we get, the better. Right now, we're in a period of time where not a whole lot of news is good news. If we heard about a bunch of news going on with Shazam! Fury of the Gods right now, probably a bad sign and that things aren't going well. But from what we know, things are going well over there, and I look forward to seeing what Rachel can do. For our next story, this one is huge, and I believe it is an exclusive of Shadow and Act. But I'm going to be taking a lot of the information from the Hollywood Reporter version of the story. We're getting a new Superman movie, everybody. It's going to be produced by J.J. Abrams under his Bad Robot production company, and it's going to be written by, I apologize in advance for how horrible I'm going to mess up this name, Ta-Nehisi Coates. I'm so sorry. Anyways, in the Hollywood Reporter story, they don't know if Henry Cavill will be returning, and they have even had some sources saying that they're going to be making it a black Superman story, having a person of color take on the symbol of hope that the Man of Steel is known for wearing, and that's not unprecedented. There are some comic book versions of that. And as we know, with the upcoming Flash film, they're going to be doing the DC multiverse, so maybe this is a Superman from another Earth. We really don't know what the hell's going on. All we can really do is speculate. But what I can say, I think that this person is the right writer for the job. He's written a ton of great comic books. His Black Panther run was a significant influence on the Black Panther film that Disney made and got a Best Picture nomination for. He's also written countless books as well. He's obviously a very talented writer, and I'm very curious to see what he can bring to this. I'm not too familiar with any screen credits he may or may not have, but with J.J. Abrams producing, I'm sure that that's going to be shepherded just fine. And, for anyone who is taken aback by Superman, the possibility, we don't even know if it's true, the possibility of Superman being black, I'll say this: Superman is an alien from Krypton. It's actually fascinating that they look like human beings anyway, let alone a certain race. So that's a non-issue. I think you're still going to have great stories, and I think maybe even making him a person of color coming from Krypton over here with that skin color, he might even encounter difficulties that are not only synonymous with Clark Kent, but also synonymous with people of color in America, and you can add really deep storytelling to that if it even is a person of color. If it's Henry Cavill, great, then we get the Man of Steel sequel that we never got. Either way, I think it's going to be great. I have nothing but confidence in this, and hopefully it can turn out good. This story I'm also taking from the Hollywood Reporter, and that is the Terminator world is expanding once again, except this time in the form of an anime series. This series will have the writer of Mattson Tomlin, who is one of the co-writers of the upcoming film The Batman with Robert Pattinson, directed by Matt Reeves. And from what the Hollywood Reporter article points out, it is an anime series that takes place within the Terminator world, and it's going to be on Netflix. Details of this take on Terminator haven't been revealed, so we don't know if it's going to be like a reboot or if it's going to be a continuation, and we don't know what's going to be canon or not canon in this new series, because Terminator likes to do that. And I'm not much of an anime watcher myself, but considering I'm a huge fan of the Terminator. I will probably give this a shot when it comes out on Netflix. Are you guys excited for the Terminator coming to Netflix? Let me know in the comments below. This next story is an exclusive from Deadline. It seems the cast of the Obi-Wan Kenobi series is expanding quite a bit. They've casted Game of Thrones star Indira Varma. Now, much like the first story today, her role is being kept under wraps. There are no details about who she's playing. They just know she's going to be in it, so people are assuming that it might be someone deep within the Star Wars lore, or maybe it's just a brand new character and that's trying to keep as many things about the shows under wraps as possible. Either way, it's never a bad idea to add talent, and this actress is very talented. I think she's going to do a wonderful job on the show, and, you know, there's nothing you can say that will get me not excited for the Obi-Wan series, so I'm just looking at the calendar waiting for this to happen. Now we're going to hop back to The Hollywood Reporter for a second, and that is to confirm that T.I. will not be returning for Ant-Man Quantumania. The Hollywood Reporter has learned that he will not be reprising his role as one of the members of the little robbing gang from the Ant-Man series in the upcoming film. However, they don't know if it's related to recent accusations of misconduct, sexual misconduct that him and his wife are going through. They mentioned it could be coincidental that he's not returning and this is going on, or it could be the direct cause. They are still trying to figure that out, but what they do know for sure is that he will not be returning in Ant-Man 3. Accusations aside, because the first I've heard of it was when I read this article, I'm just really glad that Lewis is still going to be in the movie, and, I forget the actor's name, but he was also in The Dark Knight. He's also one of the robbers, the one that was like Baba Yaga in Ant-Man and the Wasp. I'm glad that he's still in there, but, the gang's going to have one less member, but I don't think it'll have too much of an impact on the movie. I think that you're still going to get good camaraderie with them and Scott Lang, and that the movie's going to be fine. It's not going to suffer because of it. But yeah, it's just, if you don't see him in the film, you heard it here first. Also, another thing I'm taking from Hollywood Reporter, this actually just broke right before I started filming this. Fast and Furious 9 is shifting its release date by 1 month into June. This really doesn't come as a huge surprise. The only movie scheduled for May as of right now is Black Widow, since Fast and Furious has officially moved. So don't be surprised if Black Widow does end up moving. I think right now Universal's looked at the vaccine situation, and while they're going to be rolling out a lot more soon, they don't think it's going to be enough to where movies are going to be fully open, although New York theaters have opened recently, which is great news. I think they're opening tomorrow, actually. So with Fast and Furious 9 pushing back a month, I would not be shocked if Black Widow follows suit. We'll have to see. Maybe suddenly the vaccine game gets stronger, theaters can open full capacity, and then no problem, everything's fine, but again, like I said, we're going to have to wait and see. But Fast and Furious 9 has moved. What do you guys think about this? And do you think Black Widow will follow in its footsteps? And for the final story today, this one's really interesting, at least I think. This one is an exclusive from Deadline. Cinemark theaters will not be showing Raya and the Last Dragon, at least as of this recording, which I will get to in a second. But for those of you that don't know, whenever a distributor wants to put a movie into movie theaters, they have to make a deal with the movie theaters as to what percentages they're going to take. You get this, I get this, so you can play it for this long. Each movie's kind of different. And Disney is notorious for being assholes when it comes to, if you want to play their movies, the things you have to do. And I guess the deal that they've made with Cinemark did not like for Raya and the Last Dragon, and they were like, no. The article's really interesting. They have someone from Cinemark talking about it, and they actually go on to explain that Warner Brothers adjusted their film deals based on the fact that they're going to be premiering on HBO Max at the same time, which is why Cinemark has agreed to play those Warner Brothers movies, even though they're premiering on the service, where Disney has not only not altered the deal to make it better for the movie theaters, but also tried to make it worse. So Cinemark was not having it, and they've said that they will not be playing Raya and the Last Dragon, which opens tonight, technically. I'm filming this on a Thursday. I see both positives and negatives for this. In the negatives, as someone who works at a movie theater, if I worked at a theater that wasn't playing this movie, you're losing out on a lot of hours and potential money from customers. But at the same time, in the long run, if it's not going to help your company to even pay those employees, is it worth even taking the risk? So I can kind of see where Cinemark's coming from. In terms of a sticking to your guns approach, I think it's an interesting strategy. We'll see how it plays out, but honestly, I think this could potentially just be a public negotiation tactic, and that an 11th hour deal will get made for Raya and the Last Dragon to play at Cinemark theaters. We're going to have to wait and see. Maybe, maybe not. We'll find out if I'm wrong about this within the weekend, so let's see. But that's all the stories we have for today, guys. Come back next Thursday for another episode of the Movie Night Show, and we'll see you next time.